Morning. Thursday, July 17th, 2025. I'm Larissa. My fat, stupid bitch diary. Here I am with, hey, Kerplingus. Brody. Hey, sir. Hey. He's just giving me kisses, but I suspect that those were some chicken poop kisses. I suspect that might be the case. Because he came up and he was all excited to give me kisses. And, you know, I bet you if I hollered down to Omar and asked, has there been poop eating, that I might get an affirmative. Brody, have you been eating poop? Have you been eating poop? No. You haven't? You sure? I don't know. Ugh. Oh. I feel extra fat today for some reason. How is that? How is that possible? Oh, you gonna sit over there? You gonna sit over there so you can look at me? Hi. How are you, sir? Anyway, like I said, I'm feeling extra fat today. Looking extra fat today. Larissa, how are you looking extra fat? I hardly ate anything yesterday. How can I be extra fat and I hardly ate anything yesterday? I don't even know. So yesterday, you were being so slobbery. Look at those slobber spots. Why are you being so slobbery? He's being so slobbery. My hair is awful today. It's awful. Ugh. Anyway, so yesterday when I was on my way to work, on my way to the gallery, there's a little dog out on the road. Out here on a mountain road where there are accidents all the time. There was just an accident the other day. A little dog out there on the side of the road with his collar. He's looking. So I stopped. I said, "Where's your mommy?" And he just does one of these, little dog face. I said, "Where is your mommy?" I said, "You are too small to be out on this road by yourself." I said, "You don't have your mommy." I said, "Where's your mommy?" And he went, "Row, row, row." I said, "You don't know." And he said, "Ooh." And then I heard somebody calling, "Moonlight, where are you, Moonlight?" I'm like, "Is that your mommy?" Well, it wasn't. It was his daddy. His daddy came running. And I'm like, "You better get over there with your daddy right now." And he starts to come over my car, over the truck. And I'm like, his daddy comes and goes, "Oh my goodness, Moonlight." He's like, "Thank you, thank you." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." I said, "Little dog." I said, "I would scoop you up in a minute." I said, "But you have a daddy right there that loves you." He went with his daddy, but it was just a little dog out on the road in the woods by himself. Oh my goodness. If I see him out the road again, now I know where he lives and I know his name, I will take him home. His daddy needs to watch him better. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Cute little thing. One of them little dust mop looking dogs, little white dust mop looking dogs. What are those? Lasso Opso or something. Maltese. Lasso Opso. It was a Lasso Opso. Looks like a little dust mop. A little rag mop. Oh, row, row. I swear to God. It did. He did. He said that. He said, "Oh, row, row, row. I don't know where my mommy is. Oh, will you be my mommy?" Well, maybe. Oh my goodness. Little dogs. Big dogs. Brody, you big dog? You big dog? You big boy? You big strong boy? Big strong boy? Scared of the shark? Mom's gonna shark you. I'm gonna get out the shark. I told Omar I'm gonna start doing my video diaries with the shark. I should bring the shark up here. I should do my video diaries with the shark. You don't have to look at my fatness. Ugh. nastiness. Yeah, so I was working at the gallery yesterday. I got some stuff done. Oh, I drew a funny cartoon. I did. The September issue, when I relaunched my magazine, has a very funny cartoon. It does. I amuse myself. Somebody's got to amuse me because most people don't. And Lord knows that there's nothing amusing going on in the news, right? Oh my God. I haven't even been talking about Ukraine. And it's not because I'm not watching and following. I am. And oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so ready to go there. I am. I still feel the same way. President Zelensky, if you want to give me political asylum, I'm ready to come die as a free Ukrainian. Things here in this country are every bit as crazy. And, the shit that I'm seeing, what I get fed as, American culture and media is just like not worth fighting for. It's not. So I'm ready. I'm ready. If Ukraine will have me, I'm ready. I'm ready to go back with my kind, as I've been told. Stick with your kind. I don't know. At least a quarter of my family came from Ukraine. So is that my kind? I don't know what my kind is. What's my kind? Fat bitches. Yeah. Yeah. What did I make for dinner last night? Tostadas. That's what I made. I did. Oh, it was just real easy though, and they weren't like super fatty or nothing. I mean, I had vegetarian refried beans, can of vegetarian refried beans, but I didn't doctor up or nothing. I just heated up in the cast iron skillet, and then I got out my cast iron griddle and I grilled up a zucchini. Yeah, sliced it and grilled it up, and then I grilled a couple linguiça sausages for Omar. I don't eat linguiça. No, he can eat the tongue. Tongue sausage, linguiça. That's what it is. Yeah, I would have had. We didn't. If I had a chorizo in there, I would have done a chorizo, but we didn't have chorizo. We just had the linguiça, so he got linguiça. And then to put on top of it, I had some cotija cheese, just a little sprinkle of that, and I made a salad. It was fresh radishes chopped up, and some tomatoes chopped up, and some red onion chopped up, and some cilantro chopped up, and some um, spinach chopped up, and I tossed all that together. And then I tossed in some um, pickled jalapeno slices, and um, gave it a little spritz of my hot sauce, my homemade hot sauce that I make. Yeah, yeah, I make a mean hot sauce. I certainly do. Yeah, I do. So that's what we had for dinner. So, I mean, the tostadas weren't that big. They're like what? I don't know, 5 inches across, right? So I had two tostada chips covered, like a couple tablespoons of beans smeared on it, and a little bit of cheese, and then the zucchini, and then the salad, and the hot sauce. And Elmer's like, "Is this like a taco salad?" I'm like, "Yes, but it's not. It's different." Taco salads. Taco salads and tostadas are different things. Tostadas are a flat corn tortilla that is crispy, not folded like a taco, but flat, right? And then the beans go on top of that, and all the other shit goes on top of that. You get a big old pile, right? That's what a tostada is. A taco salad is a deep fried flour tortilla that is formed into a bowl, and it has rice and beans in it, right? And then the meat and cheese goes in, and then the salad on top. And it's usually iceberg lettuce. Tostada has other stuff on it, right? That's the difference. But basically, they're both taco salads. Oh my God. Why they call the taco salad a taco salad when you use a burrito shell, right? It's not a taco shell. It's a burrito. It's a burrito wrapper. Why didn't I call it a burrito salad? I don't even know. Anyway, that's what we have for dinner. And I have some of the salad left over. And I have more tostadas. So probably scramble up some eggs and put those on the tostadas instead of beans, right? Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then put the salad on top of that. We'll have eggs on our tostadas for breakfast. I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. I don't know. I could do that stuffed acorn squash, quinoa stuffed acorn squash. Or I got some broccoli and cauliflower florets down there. I could do broccoli and cauliflower. I could do like a veggie korma. I was thinking about that because I have some mint. I have mint and it's a little more of that cilantro. I could do a mint cilantro sauce, right? And do a veggie. I'm pretty sure I have some chickpeas. I could do veggie korma. Or maybe some chana masala. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. I look like Jabba the Hutt with a bad hairpiece. Look like a fucking banana slug. Yeah, I guess that's from living here among the banana slugs. They've taken me as one of their own. Ew, but I don't want to eat poop. Yuck. Banana slugs eat poop. I don't eat poop. No, I don't. I don't eat poop. Ugh. Yeah. So I got I did the cartoon yesterday. I drew the cartoon for the next issue, and then I did some of my diagramming. I did. Oh, weird experience. I just don't know how to interact with people. I must be retarded. I must be fucking retarded. I mean, God, I just want to shave my head. I just want to shave it off. So, like, going to this photo place. It's right by me. I have these pictures that I want printed so I can draw on them for these diagrams for the retaining wall that I want built. So I had taken the pictures like about a week ago, right? So I go in and I ask, you know, can I email you photos? Like, I don't have film. These are just digital images I want printed. And I explained what I wanted them printed for and what I was going to do with them, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, well, you can email them to here. Or you can just go onto our website and have an account. But I'm like, all right. So I'm like, I'll think about it. I'm like, well, when can you have them? Can you print them today? He's like, yeah, we can print them today. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna think about this. Cause like I don't need high quality. I told him, I said I don't need like high quality sharp prints, and it just on the cheapest paper. I said, these aren't. These aren't photos for art's sake. These are, you know, and I wanted to make sure that they could be printed today, that day, because I wanted to do the drawings and stuff. I wanted to do the work, and it's like, okay, well, if you can, and I'm asking these questions because if you can't, I'll just go down to like Kinko's or whatever and print them out on regular old paper, right? Like that's like all I really need, right? But you're my neighbor, so I'm gonna go talk to you. So I'm like, okay. Because I'm like, how much are these? He's like, oh, prices vary depending on size. I'm like, oh, you don't know how much things are. Okay. It's like, you can go look it up online. I'm like, all right. So I go back and do my stuff, and I decide, okay, I look at the website. I'm like, all right, I'll have them printed. So I go onto the website, and when I'm talking to him, I'm like, what sizes do you have? What's the biggest one you can do, and everything. And the biggest size that they print, they don't print there on site. They print at another site, and so I couldn't get that one that day. But, next size down, that's the biggest printer they have, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay. So when I go onto the website, and I'm clicking through looking for how do I order this shit, and it doesn't give me the option for the size that I wanted, right? Only the next size down. So I'm like, fine, I'll order these. And then I had to walk over to the store, get some soap. And as I stop in there, I'm like, I just ordered these photos on here. And I didn't see the option for the larger size, but I would like the larger size. Can we change this? And so he's like, okay. I'm like, and it's going to be a different price. Can I, because I already paid online, can I, make up for the difference now? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. He's like, oh, well, he's like, we'll print them for you and just, come back in an hour and you can get them and take care of the price difference then. I'm like, okay, whatever. So the first 2 times I talked to the same guy. So the third time I come in, like an hour later, they just like hand me the photos. They're like, here. I'm like, oh, I owe more money, right? I know. And you know what? I'm a small business, so like, dollars and cents count. But they're, they sold their business out. And the guy's like all like befuddled, like, oh, it says it's already paid for. I'm like, but I was in here earlier and I know I'm going to owe more money. He said that we would settle that then when I came in. So this other guy standing at the counter is like, it must be, with manager. Nobody introduces themselves to me, tells me who they are or anything. And I'm like, I'm your neighbor next door right here, And he's like, oh, well, I just let it go. I'm like, okay. I'm not, I wasn't okay with that. I wanted to pay for my product. I wasn't trying to gyp them, you know? And then, people think we always trying to steal, get something for free. Ugh. I make sure nothing's further from the truth. I fucking pay through the nose for everything. God damn it. Anyway. Work twice as hard, get paid not even half as much, and pay twice as much for everything. It's just like, but it's better than having anybody be able to call me a gyp, right? I'm not picking your pocket. I'm not stealing your babies. I'm not doing any of that shit. Bullshit. I can fucking read and write. I have a degree. Anyway. So I wanted to pay for it. And it was just this weird interaction. And the guy that was talking to me originally, right, like who had handed me the pictures, he just like walks away. And this other guy who's like got somebody else, it's just the whole thing was really weird. It made me very uncomfortable. I just wanted to pay for what I got, and their website sucks. And he's like, well, because I said, I didn't, there wasn't the option for the larger size. He's like, well, it's on our website. Well, it wasn't. I spent a lot of time on your fucking website trying to figure out how to use it. Their website's terrible. And the option wasn't there. And then he's like, he's like, you need to go onto your account and we need to have a credit card on file for your jobs. And I'm just like, no, I'm not giving you my credit card. He's like, well, it's company policy. It's nothing personal. I'm like, that's fine. I just want to come back. I don't know. It was just weird. I don't know. It was just weird. I had a print job, not a photo job, and that was the problem. I shouldn't have gone to them to begin with. Right? Anyway. I'm sure it's my fault. Everything's my fault, right? Dumb fat bitch. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Should I do the acorn squash with quinoa, stuff with quinoa? Or should I do broccoli and cauliflower with the tofu for dinner tonight? Or should I do korma? Veggie korma. Um, 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 do more drawing today. And I didn't get to working on the design for the enclosure for the installation piece, which I need to do. So maybe I'll work on that today and figure out my supply list, right? Because if we get stuff put into storage this weekend, and then I can go buy all my 2x4s and shut and scheisse. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so working in the new space isn't so bad. Yeah. Yeah, the cartoon is technically the first piece of art that I have made in the new space, and I'm amused by it. Yeah, I am. Oh, that's the other thing I did yesterday. I ordered some paper, some drawing paper. Ordered some drawing paper and a new drawing board. A drawing board that I've had for so many years got ruined at the other space when they had that weird water thing going on, and it got totally damaged and warped. So I had to get rid of it. So I'm replacing it because I need my drawing board. I use it all the time. Yeah. Back to the drawing board, Larissa. Back to the drawing board. Yeah. Why am I feeling extra fat today? I don't know why. Looking extra fat. Looking extra fat. Yep. Oh. He's down there. I hear him. He's down there. He's down there cleaning up all the stuff from dinner. Oh, we listened to a Tony Scaramucoochie podcast last night. Oh, that's why I call Anthony Scaramucci. I call him Scaremucoochie. Hey, Tony Scaremucoochie. Terrified Coochie over here. Yeah, no, he's got a podcast called Open Book. He interviews authors. And I haven't read any of the books by any of the authors that we've listened to him interview, but I find it interesting to listen to people talk to people who write books as a person who has written a number of books. And, all these people, they're like talking about their publisher, and I'm sure their publishers are the ones who get them the interviews and all this shit. It's like, how do you find a publisher? How do you get a publisher? How do you do that? I have 8 novels. I have a collection of short stories. I have all my art catalogs. I have my anthropological culinary text. I have a couple of poetry chapbooks. Like, I have a serious collection of stuff that I've written. Like, it's like, and I've read a lot of like stuff, modern literature, and I'm just like, how did these people get this garbage fucking published? How do they? Like, I'm at least as good a writer as a lot of the stuff that I've read, but I got to self-publish all my own stuff. But anyway, it's interesting listening to authors talk about their books and stuff. And I don't know. I was listening, talking to some dude who, what's his name? Something Silva. Who wrote some, has written some fiction about like some fiction about the Vatican, about art restoration. And that's kind of interesting as a topic, and you know, to be able to write authentically about that. But the Vatican is such an old boys club, and there was a lot of like Vatican love going on, and you know, I'm not anti-religion. As a person who's raised Catholic and has been abused by the Catholic system, I am not. Um, um, Not so like inclined to be gushy over the Vatican. Oh, they were going on about, oh, Pope Francis, he wasn't a perfect pope. He wasn't a perfect pope. I thought the Pope was infallible. But he was the Pope we needed. I'm like, oh, please, Pope on a rope. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. No, women under Francis, women were abused far more than they had been under previous popes, under even Benedict or John Paul for sure. No, under Francis, women really, really took a hit and continue to take a hit. And they're like, oh, you know, and they're like, oh, and now Leo, he's like, what they call him, the prodigy of Francis prodigy. I'm just like, please. We'll wait and see what he has to say do about anything. But, you know, it's not like they're going to be giving women any fucking special status anytime soon. We are still and will remain to be subpar humans in comparison to men, according to the Vatican. Ugh. Now the bullshit that I've seen. The bullshit that I've seen. But it was, you know, it's interesting listening to people talk about their process. Although, Tony, you don't really ask too many questions about writing process. I wish you would. I wish you would. You know, as a person who writes, you know, I'd be asking some different questions. Anyway, Tony, I'd like to send you some of my books when I get them all printed. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to send you some books. Books. Check them out. Books. Check them out. Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Oh, LeVar Burton, how are you, Jordy? Oh my goodness. I loved LeVar Burton. I did. Reading Rainbow. Loved that show. Loved it. They'd read a book. They'd read a book on there. Yeah. When I was a kid. Loved it. Wrote all my book reports and everything. Got my Pizza Hut personal pan pizzas for all my book reports that I wrote. Book It. That's what it was called. Pizza Hut's program called Book It. Yeah. Got my stickers, my personal pan pizzas for reading my books. Yeah. I used to enjoy SRA too. I did. I enjoyed the SRA. Silent reading assignment. I read lots of books. I have read lots of books. I don't know. I got to a point, though, where I was like, oh my gosh. The more I read, the more I learn, the more upset I am about humanity. You know? Anyway. Oh, I got this book a while back called Waves. It's about Higgs boson, particle physics, and the research, like the personal experience of the researcher, the guy that wrote the book. I'm reading it, and I'm just like, oh my God. I think it was a lot like the documentation writing that I did with my deconstructed and caustic series. The way he was describing the particles and the particle movement, like, ugh. So I read that. I think that was like the last book that I read cover to cover. Oh, and I got I'm not done with Pastures of Heaven. I need to finish reading that, huh? Maybe I'll do that today too. Maybe I'll do a Pastures of Heaven installment. It's fiction. I read a book of poetry. No, read that book of poetry. Um Best American Poetry of 2024. I read that this past fall. Or not fall, spring, Lent. It's a book that I read while I was working on my series, because I was writing poetry. And I wanted to read some poetry while I was writing some poetry. Yeah. Now, if you're really into poetry, though, and you want to read something interesting, Consolation of Philosophy is very, very interesting. And it's written mostly as an epic poem, right? The dialogue is written as an epic poem. Yeah. Poetry. Poetry. Miss Jill Scott and her poetry. Miss Jill Scott and her poetry. Some sisters want a baller, but mentally can he really play ball? Dumbfounded by the ghetto conversations, mentality is oh so small. Yeah. High post brother, money in his pocket, he got everything a girl could want. I think maybe he don't. High post brother, money in his pocket, he got everything a girl could want. I think maybe he don't. Miss Jill Scott, who were you talking about? Who were you writing about? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Miss Jill Scott, who is High Post Brother about? Who's it about? We want to know. We want to know, Miss Scott. Anyway. Anyway. Oh. The world is in such disarray. And I'm worried about my hair. Dumb fat bitch.